Story of an Ice Cube. Ice Cube at Science Class by CNyuhara. Hi, I'm Icy. This is me and others are all my friends. We are in the freezer of AES. One day, my friend and I, all ice cubes, were taken out from the freezer by science teacher Miss Gulati and were put into a beaker in science class. When the science class was started, Miss Gulati said, "Today we are going to experiment with ice cubes." And soon, the beaker that I was in was kept on a hot plate with the thermometer inside. Then they turned the hot plate on. I felt getting heated. "Look, the temperature is getting high rapidly. It's still less than 1 degree Celsius though," said a girl who was standing near the table where the hot plate was kept. And after a few minutes, the temperature reached 0 degrees Celsius. I started to melt, which meant I'm turning into liquid from solid. And then the same girl said, "Miss Gladys, the ice cubes started to melt. Now it's becoming water, and it's 0 degrees Celsius." "Great," Miss Gladys answered and continued. "Process that solid, which is ice cube in this case, turning into liquid, which is water, is called melting. And do you see different shape and different volume in solid phase? And still different volume but no different shape in liquid phase? It's something different between solid and liquid. This is because the distance between molecules, or intermolecular distance, got bigger by adding heat to it. What do you think is going to happen when you keep on heating liquid? Wait and see what happened." My friend and I were completely liquid when Miss Gladys finished explaining about phases to her students. 15 minutes later, the temperature was almost 100 degrees Celsius, and after a minute, when it reached 100 degrees Celsius, ice started to boil and started to turn into gas. A boy who was looking at the beaker said, "It started to turn into gas, Miss Gladys." "And it's 100 degrees Celsius," added the other boy, pointing at the thermometer. "Yes, that's right. So when you keep on heating liquid or water, it will turn into gas, or you could also call as steam. This process is called evaporation or vaporization," Miss Gladys said and continued. "Do you see how there's no different volume and no different shape in gas phase? And remember how there was a different volume in liquid phase? This is the difference between liquid and gas. This happens because of the intermolecular distance getting bigger by adding more heat to it." Then our girl got a question. "What happens when you cool it?" she asked. "Yes, that's what we're going to do now. You'll know the answer after this experiment," answered Miss Gladys. So they moved the beaker in the freezer, which was 0 degrees Celsius, for first 5 minutes. It didn't make any difference, but after that, it gradually started to turn into liquid and then to solid. And after 15 minutes from the time when they kept the beaker inside the freezer, Icy and her friends were again back into solid phase, which means back into ice cubes. The end of the story. Here is the summary. Solid. Solid have a different volume and different shape. Liquid. Liquid have a different volume but not a different shape. Gas. Gas does not have different volume nor the different shape. Temperature gets high as it becomes liquid and then to gas. So does energy. Intermolecular distance is the distance between molecules, and this also gets bigger as it becomes liquid and then to gas. Here are the process. Solid turning into liquid is called melting. Liquid turning into gas is called evaporation or vaporization. Gas turning back to liquid is called condensation. Liquid turning back to solid is called freezing. Boiling point is a certain temperature that liquid starts to evaporate or vaporize and starts to become gas phase from liquid phase. For water, it's 100 degrees Celsius. Freezing point is a certain temperature that liquid starts to freeze and starts to become solid phase. For water, it's 0 degrees Celsius. Melting point is a certain temperature that solid starts to melt and starts to become liquid phase. For water, it's 0 degrees Celsius. The end. Thanks for watching.